It's Nick O'Neill with a special SEC Crackdown edition of the Crypto News Show, and do you hear that? That's the sound of the police. Yesterday, the SEC and CFTC testified before the U.S. Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. Their findings? Let's take a look. First up, we have the head of the CFTC, J. Christopher Giancarlo, explaining to the committee some recent news about a Bitcoin conference.
There was recently a Bitcoin conference that stopped accepting Bitcoin for registrants because they couldn't process the payments.
Giancarlo must be getting his information from the Crypto News Show. This guy is hip. To demonstrate that fact, he shared with the committee his position on cryptocurrencies as a store of value and a short story about his niece.
When it's used as a store of value, then it's very much like an asset, like a commodity. And in fact, what we hear a lot of is people buying and holding. If you go onto the Twitter universe, you'll see a phrase HODL, which means hold on for dear life. And the thinking is that they buy it and hold it. In fact, I mentioned in my opening remarks my 30-year-old niece who bought Bitcoin years ago, and she's an HODL. She says, I'm going to own it. I don't know what's going to come of it, but I want to hang on to it. And she's not a fraudster or a manipulator. She's just a kid.
He just dropped the hodl. Sounds like Giancarlo has no interest in harming the market because his niece is now filthy rich from her Bitcoin. Hence why the CFTC is taking a do no harm policy similar to the one that was taken for the internet in the early days. That doesn't mean enforcement isn't coming though. As Jay Clayton, head of the SEC, presented to the committee, he has a semi-negative outlook on ICOs. More specifically, he claims that every ICO that he has examined is effectively an unregistered security. The outcome of all this? Let's listen to Giancarlo.
Many ICOs are being conducted illegally. Their promoters and other participants are not following our securities laws. Some say this is because the law is not clear. I do not buy that for a moment. The analysis is simple. Are you offering a security? If so, you have a choice. Follow our private placement rules or conduct a public offering registered with the SEC. A note for professionals in these markets. Those who engage in semantic gymnastics or elaborate structuring exercises in an effort to avoid having a coin be a security are squarely within the crosshairs of our enforcement division.
So essentially he's saying that tough times are ahead for any US-based ICOs. Don't worry though, despite his opinion, we'll still continue to cover upcoming ICOs, especially those that are breaking the law. Why? Because those are the ones that are the most entertaining. To wrap up, Clayton emphasized that enforcement is just around the corner. Let's listen to him in his own words.
To the extent that digital assets like ICOs are securities, and I believe every ICO I've seen is a security, we have jurisdiction and our federal securities laws apply. We will enforce these laws. Many of these laws also include private rights of action. We are working with the DOJ and other regulators to enforce these laws.
Those threatening words don't appear to be scaring the market though, as most people have focused in on Giancarlo's statement about do no harm. My take is that just like Giancarlo's niece, I'm going to hodl my coins all the way to the moon. That's all the time we have for today's Crypto News Show. Have a great day.